Hi viewers, welcome to my channel. Today I will make you to learn some of the most important MCQ questions with respect to the data manipulation language in the DBMS. So that is there any question with respect to the DML in NPTQ qualification examination, you can easily attempt those questions. Now coming to the first question, here we have one student table is there. Student table is available, and within the student table we have some attributes are there like ID, which is of the type of integer, name, which is of the type of varchar2, and gender, which is of the type of character, and as well as date of birth, which is of the type of date. Now which of the following statement will execute successfully? Coming to the first statement, it is the question which is with respect to the insert query. Now the first query is insert into student values of s. The query syntax is correct. Insert into student is the table name, student values of, and coming to the first attribute data type is integer, so that we can store integer 1 comma, and the name of the person, which is of the type of varchar2, we need to provide varchar string. Especially within the Oracle database, if you want to provide the string, means we have to enclose it in the single quotes. So here we are providing the name of the person alias within the single quotes, there is no problem at all. But coming to the gender, here the gender we are providing it in the format of group of characters, but it is of the type of char. That means we have to provide only single character. Due to that reason, it is not at all correct option. Why? Because the gender is character type, that too we have to allow only single character, but we are providing multiple group of characters. Now come to the next option, insert into student values of 1 comma string. If you want to provide the string message, means definitely we need to enclose it in the single quotes with respect to the SQL Oracle database, but here we are using double quotes, so that it is not at all correct. Here we are facing the problem with the name of the employee, but what about the gender? There is no problem with the gender, we are providing only single character, that it is a char type. And next one is sysdate. Sysdate means you will get the current date and time with respect to the system, and which will, the data type of this sysdate is date type only, so there is no problem here. But the problem that we are facing is the name of the person we should not provide within the double quotes, we have to provide it in the single quotes. Within the Oracle database, the strings are acceptable in the format of single quotes, we have to enclose in the single quotes. Due to that reason, the second option is also wrong option. Coming to the next option, insert into student values of 1 integer type, no problem. Second, name of the person within the single quotes, no problem. And coming to the character, within the single quotes we are providing. But coming to the date, here the date we are providing in the format of, actually the date of joining is in the format of date data type, but we are providing the joining date in the format of string, we are enclosing it in the single quotes. Due to that reason, here we are struggling, and this is not at all correct option. Come to the last option, insert into student values of 1 integer type, the name of the person within the single quotes we can provide it, and single character, the gender is single character, that's why we are providing single character. And coming to the date, within the date, so we can store null value also, there is no problem. Even though it is a date data type, the date of joining, we can store the null value, there is no problem. Now with respect to the D option, this is the right syntax, so that we can insert the data into the student table. Now out of all the four options, the right option is D option. Now coming to the next question, we have student table is there. Within the student table, 4 attributes are there. And first attribute is ID, which is of the type of integer, and there is no constraint upon the ID, so that we can store null value. Without providing the value also, we can there is no problem at all. We can insert the data into the table. So without using ID also, we can insert the data into the table. Why? Because there is no constraint upon the ID. As well as coming to the next attribute, name, which is of the type of string varchar2, here it is not null, we have the constraint upon the name. Definitely if you want to insert the data into the table, definitely within the name field you have to insert some name, otherwise it will not acceptable. And coming to the gender, this attribute, it is also, there is no constraint upon the gender, and the data type of the gender is character, that means you have to provide single character in the format of string. And here it is also optional, without providing the gender value as well as ID of the student, we can store the data into the database, there is no problem at all. But the mandatory fields, here name is the mandatory field, we have to insert some value into the name field, otherwise it is not at all acceptable. Why? Because upon the name we have the constraint not null. Coming to the date of joining, here the date of joining of the student is, which is of the type of date, and here the default constraint that is applying upon the date of joining is default system date. So now, which of the following statements will execute successfully? Now coming to the first query, here it is a multiple choice question. We have to choose multiple options. Now insert into student. Here we can insert the student data into in this format also. Here insert into student. Here with respect to the student column names, ID, name, gender, date of joining, and the values are, one is the student ID, there is no problem, it is the integer type. Name is the student name, which is of the type of string, that we have to enclose it in the single quotes. And the gender in the sense we have to provide only single character, that we have to enclose it in the single quotes. So it is also correct. And date of joining, so the default constraint upon the date of joining is default sysdate. Otherwise you can provide the null value also. There is no not null constraint upon the date, so that we can store the null value also. There is no problem, null will be storing into the date data type. So this is the right option, there is no doubt at all. And coming to the next option, insert into student of, we are providing the data for ID of the student and gender of the student. So ID and as well as the gender. For ID and gender we are providing, but we are missing one important attribute related information, that is name. Name is not null. The constraint that is applicable for the name is not null. Definitely you have to use it in order to insert the data into the table, but without using the name, we are simply inserting the data into the ID and gender. That means within the name the null value will be trying to storing into the name. Why? Because without using that name and as well as date of joining in this particular insert query, within that name and as well as date of joining, the null values will be storing. But unfortunately or fortunately, name is of the type of not null. Upon name we have constraints, so that it is not at all correct. You have to use the name and we have to provide the value with respect to the name. It is wrong option. Now coming to the C option, insert into student. Here we are providing the ID of the student as well as name of the student, and that too name is of the type of varchar. That means it is of the type of string. We have to provide within the single quotes S, and that too it is a not null due to that region. Definitely we have to provide the value, and we are providing the value. And here we are not providing the data for two important attributes. That the two important attributes are gender and date of joining. There is no problem without providing the values also. The default value that is available in the gender and date of joining is null. There is no doubt at all, and there is no constraint like not null upon the gender and date of joining, so that there is no problem. You can insert the data into the ID of the student and name of the student, and for the remaining two fields, gender and date of joining, you will get null values only. So it is also right syntax. Why? Because here we are mainly concentrating on the name, so we have to store the data with respect to the name of the student. Why? Because it is a not null. So it is the right syntax. Next, insert into student. The student attributes are ID, name, gender, and date of birth. With respect to the ID, the value that we are inserting is 1, which is of the type of integer, no problem. And coming to the next one is name, but here in the name we are trying to store null. It is not at all acceptable. Why? Because upon the name we have the constraint not null. So with respect to it, it is also wrong option. Now out of all the four options, the right options are A and C only. So we can insert the data by using A and C options. We can insert successfully, we can execute successfully these two queries. Now coming to the next question, consider an empty student table provided below. An empty student table is there. Within that four attributes are there: ID, name, age, and date of birth. ID is of the type of integer, name is of the type of string varchar2, and age is of the type of integer, as well as date of birth is of the type of date. Following alter statements are successfully executed on this table sequentially, one by one. So altering in the sense we can modify the table schema. So now let me try to apply one by one. Alter table student, and that means we are trying to applying altering operation upon the student table. And here with the help of altering, we are dropping two important attributes from the table. The two important attributes are date of birth as well as age of the student. That means after executing this alter command within the table, we have only two attributes. That the two attributes are ID and name only. Now coming to the next alter statement, alter table student, add one extra attribute. That extra attribute is gender, which is of the type of character. We have to provide only single character. Now we are adding one more extra attribute, that is nothing but gender, which is of the type of char, and only we have to provide single character. It is a gender. So gender. Now within this table, after completion of the second alter query, we have totally 3 attributes are there: id, name and gender. Id of the type of integer, name is of the type of var character 2 and gender is of the type of character. Now coming to the third alter statement, alter table student, modify name column we are trying to modify. We are modifying upon the name attribute, and that too the name data type is varchar2. We are modifying it into the number type. Number type in the sense it is of the type of integer. Now coming to the next alter command, alter table student, rename the column. What is the column that we are renaming? id. Initially the column name is id. We are renaming it to student id. Now it will become student id, std id. Let me try to write it in shortcut. Now this is the execution of the alter command. After executing all the 4 alter commands successfully, now the final schema of the table is student table is, we have 3 attributes are there: student id, name, gender. Student id of the type of integer, name is of the type of number, it was modified, and coming to the gender of the student, which is of the type of character. Now what is the question? Which insert statement will execute successfully on this modified student table? Upon the modified student table, out of all the options, which is the right option to insert the data? Coming to the first one, insert into student values of, now id which is of the type of integer, so that we can store 1. And coming to the name, the name modified data type is number, but we are trying to store it in the format of string. We are enclosing it in the single quotes, so that it is not at all correct as per the updated table. Now come to the next insert command, insert into student values of, here 1, that means within the student id we can store the integer value, and 3 in the sense within the name of the student we can insert the number 3, we can insert no problem. And coming to the next attribute, 30 in the sense the gender of the student, we have to provide it in the format of single character, we have to enclose it in the single quotes. Due to that reason, this second option is also wrong. Coming to the fourth option, insert into student values of, within the student id which is of the type of integer, 1 we can store, no problem. And coming to the name of the student, here the name data type we are changing it, the updated data type is number, so that within the name we can store 3, there is no problem. And coming to the gender of the student, so single character we have to provide, and we are providing single character. So this is the right statement among all the remaining statements in order to execute successfully the command. Now coming to the last statement, insert into student, here it is not at all id, it was updated student id, that is the thing that we have to do. Student id comma name comma age comma date of birth. Here there is no age at all, we have already removed age attribute from the student with the help of alter command, so that it is also wrong statement. Now out of all the 4 statements, the right statement is C. With the help of C option, we can execute this particular query successfully with respect to the modified student table. Now coming to the next question, which of the following statements are true about distinct keyword? The first option is distinct keyword can be used in select and where class. No, within the where class it is not possible to use the distinct. We can use it in the select class. Here it is wrong option. Distinct remove duplicates based upon column immediately following by the distinct. No, distinct will be applicable for all the columns in the table, so that it is also wrong option. Coming to the C option, distinct remove duplicates based upon all the columns in the select class. Yes, it is correct. And coming to the last option, usage of distinct should be avoided as far as possible due to performance issues. Yes, we are going to get some performance issues, that's why we need to avoid it. In order to use it, it is not better to use it, you can avoid it, so that your query performance will be very better when compared to the uses of the distinct keyword. Now out of all the 4 options, the right options are C and D. Coming to the last question, consider a table employee within the 2 attributes are available, and the query is select name from the employee where salary between 1000 and 2000. Between, we are using between operator, so here between in the sense it will include the 1000 as well as 2000. The above query will display the names from the employee table whose salary. So here the first statement is the salary is greater than 1000, that means it is not including the 1000, and the salary is less than or equal to 2000, it is including the 2000. Less than or equal, that means 2000 also including in this particular statement here, but we are unable to include the 1000. More than the 1000 value only we are considering here. That is not correct with the help of between. Now come to the next statement. Salary is greater than or equal to 1000, that means we are including the 1000 and above the 1000 value, and the salary is less than or equal to 2000, that means the less than 2000 value along with the 2000 also we are considering. It is the right option with the help of between. Now coming to the next option, salary is greater than or equal to 1000, that means we are including the 1000 and more than the 1000 values, but the salary is less than 2000, we are not including the 2000. It is not correct. Come to the last option, salary is greater than 1000, that means we are not including the 1000 value, and the salary is less than 2000. Here we are excluding 1000 and 2000. More than 1000 value we are considering, less than 2000 value we are considering in the last option. It is also not correct. Here with the help of between, we need to consider, we need to include the both the lower bound value and upper bound value, and in between that values also you can get with the help of this query, so that the output is the employee salaries that we are going to get, the salaries who are having more than or equal to 1000 and less than or equal to 2000. So B is the right option among all the remaining options. With this, I hope you got the complete idea. If you like my videos, all of you, please subscribe to my channel. Please inform to your friends, ask them to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.